Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. So we're still waiting for Geralt and Yennefer to get our test versions to be able to play with them, the Arena of Trials and all that stuff. But I did spend a bit of time in the basic battles that we do have with them to test them. And I wanted to give my thoughts before they come out on where I think they will be useful and whether they'll be any good. So this is complete speculation because we only have one battle really to test them in, which we don't get to test at proper deficits. We don't get to test every composition. So just take this with a grain of salt, but these are the kind of things I will definitely be testing once we do get them. So the first one we'll go through is going to be Geralt. Now, for this dude, I think I don't see him being crazy yet. We'll have to see, maybe with all his self-buff scaling, the fact that his signature item contains dodge on it, maybe he becomes like mitigation enough. I think Albedo is going to be very vital for him. The fact that if we go to Albedo, I just think her ability to buff dimensionals is like the thing that he really needs to operate. I think that the extra defense and extra attack are going to be vital, especially as him being an agility based warrior. I think it's going to be fantastic. So I definitely think if we do find a team that's specific to Geralt, it is going to involve Albedo. It has to. He needs that scaling. He's a consistent damage dealer. I just feel like it's essential for him. Now, the other combo that I could see working with Geralt is going to be Ulna, but unfortunately with Ulna, you're going to be taking away that very key support for the Grizzle team, which is a top meta team. So the problem with Ulna these days is that to use Ulna in every team, you have to say, is it going to be better than Ulna Grizzle? And most likely it's not. But the reason Ulna would synergize really well with Geralt is he really wants to get his ult out and he wants to get into that berserker type mode. Now, Ulna gives him the invulnerability to be able to start getting his energy up. He generates energy very fast and he can probably ult. Now, on top of that, we have the cycling between Ulna's passive, giving him invincibility, and then also his sigil, which is going to make him immune to damage on an 8-second cooldown. But it's only about 2 seconds from my testing so far that he is immune. So we will have some downtime, but I just think the Ulna synergy is going to be like really strong for him, but will fall into the category of not being as good as Grizzle with Ulna, so it may fall off. So those are the two main the synergies that I see. Obviously him going with Yennefer, they're going to have additional synergies as well. I think it will be viable also, especially when we look at Yennefer's teams that I'm going to talk about and the things that I think she synergizes with. You know, Geralt has the knockbacks as well, so he's going to contribute to keeping those enemies on their side of the battlefield. So I think he will be decent in that sense as well. But the other thing that I can really see Geralt being used for, and this is more of like an endgame tech pick, is against heavy Hypogean and Graveborn teams. The fact that if Graveborn or Hypogean enemies are within range, he will attack with his Silver Sword, additionally reducing their energy by 400 points. I feel like when you come up against a very heavy team of these Graveborn and Hypogeans, that 400 points is a really good energy reduction for them. On top of that, he does have his sigil, which once you increase, I think, whoop, wrong one. What do we hit there? Hit the arrow. Which once you increase his furniture, was it? Yes, increases the range while inflicting freeze on enemies for 3.5 seconds. So he actually becomes a really decent control unit against Graveborn and Hypogeans with a 3.5 second freeze. He's got his own invulnerability, so he has a little bit of survival as a tech pick. You know, put him in the back row and he's used to counter them. And then he's also going to be reducing their energy a lot. I think that's going to be like the main end game niche that we see Geralt in. I don't think we're going to have, you know, high deficit top 5 team Geralt carry, but I do see that he will be a fantastic tech pick into those teams to help, you know, just alleviate the pressure that those teams bring. So that would be my top pick for Geralt, is going to be a tech unit in endgame teams against Graveborns and Hypogeans. But hopefully with the Albedo, with all of his buffs on his self buffs, hopefully he can scale to be decent, but I just don't think he's going to have enough mitigation to survive long into high deficit battles is going to be his issue. But hopefully I'm wrong, because I love his design. I think his abilities are sick, and I really want to have a team built around him. But that is just my first impression based off what we know. As we move into Yennefer. Now, Yennefer is one that gets me really excited because there's so many things that she can synergize with. So first one we look at, Kren. Kren, obviously, with the bombs, the first thing I want to mention actually with Yennefer, I think at the moment on the test server, her furniture is bugged, because when we go into these arena of trial battles, if we go into like these ones here, melee attacks are not making her proc. In the other one, when we go through Geralt's one, there's like a Lucius down the bottom. I put her in the front row against the Lucius. Lucius just smacks her. There's no teleporting happening. I can put her back here. And we can just do something like this, and I can put it back here. She'll take a melee hit from the Cecilia. So here's a melee hit from the Cecilia. There is no teleporting. It's not like Cecilia just runs away because she gets charmed by the passive. Like there's none of the teleport. So I think, I don't know whether it's a bug. It's early implementation unless I'm missing something. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Yennefer seems to not work with the furniture, which I think her furniture will actually give her a lot more utility as well. Once it is working properly. Like I said, I might be missing something in the way I'm trying to use it. But the synergies that I think she's going to have, like I said, Kren is the first one. I think Kren's going to synergize super well with her, because obviously Kren likes keeping enemies on the other side of the field, because this attack only attacks the other side of the field. And then also he has his bombs. So, if something melee attacks Yennefer, she teleports to the back. They're going to teleport to the back. They're going to activate the bombs. I just feel like there's a good chunk of synergy. Her ice blasts are going to knock back. There's just a lot in her kit that I think is going to synergize really well with Kren, and Kren already being a pretty top tier unit as well, makes it a really good synergy to be able to help him in a team. Now, the next unit I'm going to look at that I think she's got great synergies with is a unit that actually takes really well into the Kren team as well, and that is Fane. Fane has his where is it? Man, I can't. The prison? Is that the one? Yeah, summons the bone prism. So he's got the bone prism. He's got the things that keep rolling around, which are these ones. The logs that keep pushing enemies back. So it plays into that whole side of her gameplay, which is, keep enemies on their side of the field, keep you guys on your side of the field, and keep pushing them back. And I feel like these three, obviously, like I said, Kren and Fane already have really good synergies in the end game at the moment. But I feel like putting her in there as well can definitely add to the effectiveness of this team. A big struggle you have with Kren teams is often that, Kren runs forward and gets himself killed, but because we'll have the barrier from Yen, it means that normally when he goes to do that attack, he's still technically on your side of the battlefield shooting an enemy tank away. So hopefully that will help protect him as well from nuking himself when he runs in to do that. And that will allow him to keep the longbow on, because with Kren, often you want to put the verdant longbow on him. I don't even have a Kren to show, but let's just jump in here and have a look. Because what I found with Kren is the verdant longbow, obviously you want to be doing this one, deals extra damage, ignoring the defense every 4 attacks, because he does so many basic attacks when you consider that his ult is the basic attack when he's shooting. It's fantastic for him, but sometimes you might get caught into having to use the shroud because he runs forward and gets killed. So hopefully she can help mitigate that effect from Kren. The next one we're going to look at is going to be, I think she's going to have really good synergies with Chicken. Now, I know I always mention Chicken in everything that we do, but the Chicken is fantastic. Obviously, his 3 furniture that's going to group enemies up, and the fact that with Yennefer, her ice blasts are going to, if she's in the back middle and you use Chicken, her ice blasts are going to hit all of the enemies. That is really, really powerful, because she can use those ice blasts. She gets the stuns from that ice blast. Then she gets fully charged. She's going to teleport in. She's going to charm all the enemies. They're going to attack each other. She's going to go back, and then she's going to use her ice blast again. I just feel like she has a really good synergy with the Chicken. And I feel like with her and Chicken and maybe like the Queen type combo, there's a lot of other combos we can look at, but I feel like a control-based combo around her and Chicken and Queen and stuff like that, which Chicken Queen already is a semi-viable comp. I think she really adds a lot to that, and I think that could be really strong. However, Chicken is always sought after for the 5-pull team. So the other option, which depends on her 9 furniture, and when we get that, if I can make it work, the other option is going to be Frampton. Now, And the reason being, I can't remember which ability it is. No, which one is it? Start a battle, Frampton teleports directly in front of the enemy located opposite him. Basically, Frampton, if you start him back mid, he'll attack the enemy in their back mid and drag the other enemies in, kind of like Chicken. Now, this is going to like rely entirely on the idea of her furniture, which, like I said, it's not working at the moment with the teleport. I really do hope her furniture, when we look at her 9 furniture, that when she teleports to her back row, I'm hoping she goes to the back mid, kind of like Pharrell. When Pharrell uses his ultimate, he always bounces back to the middle of the battlefield, kind of like Peggy. If you put Peggy in the front row, she will run backwards to the middle. So I'm hoping that this works the same, so that like a tech idea you could do, provided she doesn't get one shot, is like put her in the front row. She gets hit by a melee attack from an enemy tank. She teleports to the back mid, and then you have Frampton placed in the back mid so that he's grouping the enemies up. And the cool thing about this is when she teleports, it resets the cooldown of her Sorcerer's Wrath, which is this one, which is going to do those ice blasts, so that she'll teleport back. Frampton will have grouped the enemies up already, and then she can ice blast into all of them, then generate that energy, ult into them, charm them. It's the whole synergy that Chicken has, but it just would work with Frampton, which would leave you Chicken available for a 5-pull team still. So I think that would be a fantastic synergy. I was testing all last night. I could not get her 9 furniture to proc once. So that will entirely depend on how this furniture works. Like I said, if she goes to the middle on the teleport, it'll be fantastic. If she doesn't, it probably won't work, but we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, I'm just struggling to make that ability work, but let me know what you guys think. That's what I'm thinking so far. Oh, there's one more actually for Yennefer. One more, because it's my original girl in this game. Where is she? Gwyneth. I don't know. Gwyneth just hasn't been that strong of late, but maybe... I'm gonna try and make a Gwyneth team work. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love Gwyneth. I've loved Gwyneth from when she came into the game. I'm a big Bo fan. So I'm thinking something like Yennefer with Gwyneth, and you use like the Arthur, because Arthur's always been fantastic with Gwyneth. And then you could also use something like maybe the Albedo, because then you're increasing the defenses of your Arthur tank, and also increasing the damage that Yennefer can deal, and then she can be like a secondary damage dealer on top of Gwyneth. But the problem with Gwyneth is her damage just doesn't scale too highly at high deficits, but she does have a decent stun duration when we look at her 30 engraving and stuff like that. So this is definitely one that I'm going to dig into and test some more, because I'm a big fan of Gwyneth. But we'll have to wait and see how this one pans out. But those are my first ideas, my initial thoughts overnight from, playing with them a little bit. But let me know what you guys think. What kind of teams do you think they'll be used in? Where will you see them? Like I said, I feel like Yennefer just has a lot more utility that she's going to bring to a lot more units and have more synergies. But I do think Geralt will have that tech option against Graveborn and Hypergene teams where he will actually see some use. But once again, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.